Rooted.
Biba Mes CHamoru. Here on Guam, we celebrate that every single month of March. But if you call Guam home, you celebrate and recognize the culture every single day of the year. Hafide Guahusinik Delgado, welcome to KUAM's news special, Rooted.
The Inafresi. It's a poem, a pledge, and its recitation often comes at the beginning of many ceremonies. The words are a promise to protect and defend the Chamorro culture, language, and land. It has become a grand tradition of our island, but it's actually not as old as you think. Dr. Mike Bavacqua explains. Hi, Dr. Bavacqua. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, Tatsuba, no problem. The Inafresi is very important because children on Guam recite the Inafresi regularly throughout school, but sometimes people just say it, but they don't understand what it means, and therefore it's hard for them to feel it. But the Inafresi is really a beautiful sort of thing. It's something which all children are taught to sort of remind them about what is precious about our island and how we should protect it and preserve it so that we can keep our island home special. Good. So from the heights of my mind, right? So it's important that the beginning of the Inafresi starts off with all of our powers and our facilities as human beings. So one, the mind is the most important thing. From the depths of my heart, right? So our compassion, our ability to feel, our empathy is also critical. And then the strength, the power of our ability. And so that's important, these three things, right? It's not just the strength of arms, it's not just sort of your mind, it's not just your compassion, but all three of them together. The Inafresi starts off with talking about the abilities and the power that each of us have as individuals. I make this promise that I will protect, then defendi, and I will defend, I will protect and defend. So this is what's important, and this is one reason why I like the Inafresi versus the American Pledge of Allegiance, is that in the American Pledge of Allegiance, you're pledging yourself to a nation, one republic, indivisible, under God, all sorts of stuff like that. In this Inafresi, in this pledge, you're talking about how I'm going to pledge myself to protect these things that make life possible. And so the next 6 things are those things. Very good. 6 basic things that make life possible and make life sustainable. And so hinengi is your beliefs, kotura is your culture, lenguahi is your language, and then iairi is the air, ihanam is the water, and itanu is the land. And so in the Inafresi, you are pledging that you will protect these things that make Guam special, these things that make Guam home.
This is the part where I always stumble.
So my inheritance, sort of this is my inheritance directly from God. This is what is mine directly from God. So I pledge this on the Bible, Gihilui Biblia, and under the flag, our flag, the flag of Guam.
Thank you so much for your words, Dr. Bavacqua.
Hagomas, hagomas.
We've got more of the culture to share with you. We'll be back in a moment.
Rooted. Rooted.
Hafide, welcome back to KUAM's news special, Rooted. I'm Nick Delgado. Let's get back to seeing more about the island's culture.
Hafide guys, and welcome back to another edition of Mes CHamoru. And for this one, we're going to be doing a one-on-one with the one, the only, Senor Vince Regis, master of Chamorro dance. Vince, thank you so much. So literally a quick, like you see here, Chamorro class with Senor Vince Regis. Now we're just going to go over some terminology, Chamorro terminology, things that people use a lot, that maybe they don't really know the meaning to it. Some like just as you see here, the word chamorro itself, to kind of break it down and
Sure.
go in depth with it. So I guess we'll start there with the word chamorro. I know you already underlined it, so I guess let's start there. It's a new way of writing and saying chamorro. Let's talk more about what it is, and with the capital CH and then the RU in the back here.
Okay, si Jesus Masi. Well, I'm not a language expert, so si Jesus Masi to all my Pumalo and my the other maestros and maestras here. If I say something wrong, but I think I understand it. So CHamoru, I'm gonna use this primitive word. So when you say the word CHamoru, this is the new way of spelling, or the newer way of spelling CHamoru. As we know, CHamoru is usually spelled or before it was traditionally spelled with a CHAMORRO, right? So this is the traditional spelling, right? This is what we know as CHamoru. The new orthography allows us to spell it this way for a couple reasons. One is because there is no C in Chamorro language in the pronunciation, so there's a CH. So so for example, there's a, there's I, then there's a, then there's be, and then there's se, right? So a, be, se. So this one allows us to say, this is just the way, if we're going to use this alphabet, then this is one alphabet. So ca, mo, then ru. Now why is it RU versus RRO? Is because my thing is that when you use CHamoru versus CHamoru, for me, it forces the tongue when you say RO to go into, or to pronounce the word CHamoru, go, so it's like CHamoru.
Oh, okay.
So versus here, it forces, not only this is the new the way it's pronounced using the Chamorro alphabet, but if you take out the RU, or you take out the O and you put the RU, it forces everybody to say CHamoru. Okay, versus CHamoru.
Oh, okay.
But this is, so pronunciation wise, this would be the way we say CHamoru. Here, now if we use RRO, especially many of us are English first language learners or speakers, so a lot of times we say CHamoru. So we want to be careful to try to say CHamoru.
CHamoru. Awesome. And then, just one of those, and I know I introduced you as, Señor Vince Regis.
Yeah.
We talked about that before we started rolling. It was Señor versus Saina. A little bit talk about more about that and how it's being used today.
Yeah. So the word Saina, as many people know, refers to someone of elder, someone of status, someone you want to, God, our ancestors. So, and many of our young kids refer to the teachers, the Chamorro teachers, as Saina. Myself, they refer to me as Saina. I hear that a lot. It's the same thing as the word Señor, right? For me, or Señora. Okay. As far as referring to someone of higher status. Saina, though, is much more reverent, because it also refers to, like I said, God, our ancestors, anyone of higher esteem. But still, if my kids are referring to me, sometimes I can have them bounce between Señor and Saina.
Yeah, it's been a great lesson, a small, kind, fast 101 in Chamorro. Vince, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vince.
CHamoru. Viva Chamorro. Viva Mes CHamoru.
Viva Mes
Guys,
CHamoru.
that pretty much wraps it up, and we're back with the next one. We'll see you in the next one.
More rooted when we return.
Rooted. Rooted.
Half a day, I'm Nick Delgado. Welcome back to KUAM News Special Rooted. Let's check in with more of what our culture and talent has to offer here in the Pacific Paradise.
She's a businesswoman who spends much of her day in the office and boardroom. But what you may not know about Maria Leon Guerrero, the Chief Operating Officer and Executive Vice President of Bank of Guam, is the passion she has for the art of CHamoru chanting.
I got started in 2015, and at the time I was asking my coworker, Brandon, if he knew of any Chamorro language classes that I could join because I was interested in learning the language. And he said, oh, I have a better idea. I'm going to recruit you to my chant group. And at the time, we were preparing for FestPac, and they were recruiting new members for FestPac in 2016. So that's how I got started. I've always believed that your identity is so important for who you are. And I don't think that we can really move forward as a society unless we understand where we came from. And for me, with the chant group, you know, there's a lot of different people in the group with different backgrounds, people that are interested in Micronesian studies and traditional jewelry, all different areas of our culture. So it's nice to learn about those things, but I think the best part of it is when we're all chanting together as one. There's a really powerful energy that's created. It's hard to explain, but you know, we're all connected with each other, but we're also connecting with something that is far deeper. And the first time I tapped into that, I was like, wow, that's what I was missing all these years. And it still feels that way.
Rooted.
They are female Chamorro language teachers in GDOE. Besides being educators, they can add dance to their list. Let's check out IFID, Anita ni Famalawan Itano.
Hapere Guahusi Destiny Cruise. I am joined by a very special guest, Miss Bobby, Sina Bobby. But for those who don't formally know you, can you just go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Hapade's and buenas. Guahusi Barbara Tanatongo Bigler. Mes CHamoru za Talafufu Elementario za Dosna Guma hu Guma Lului I Guma Anita ni Tautotano zan Guma Anita ni Famalawan Itano.
For those who may not know that you are a teacher with the Guam Department of Education in Talafofo, how long have you been teaching for?
So over the course of the years of Chamorro language and culture, about 10 plus years. But dance, I'm already over 18 years. Yeah.
18 years.
Yes, 18 years teaching
Wow.
Cultural dance.
Right, and so you formed this amazing group. Can you just go ahead and repeat what the name is, where it came from, what it means?
Sure. So, Tini Famalawan Itano means the spirit of the women of the land. And we formed this group because we were all classmates in a University of Guam class, the orthography class. And what we ended up doing was one day we went to Saipan to study the orthography there because the Northern Mariana Islands orthography is different from Guam. And as we were there at a family gathering with one of our ladies, we just started dancing, and everyone here in the back knew that I was a dancer and a teacher at the same time. So they're like, "Wow, Bobby, can you teach us?" Of course, I contemplated because it's a big responsibility. I'm so much younger than a lot of them, but at the same time, I saw that I could make something. I saw the whole holistic view of it, like I can do something, I can move the mountain. And so I ended up sticking with the ladies.
Well, we're gonna keep it burning because you're gonna teach me how to dance,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, so let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do
Let's do it.
And it was Bulan Tawin Itasi, so you can actually do the also. I mean, Bulan Tawin Itasi, Bulan Ihatia. So stand up and say, you take it step by step and work from there all the way to the end. Very simple. Okay? So first step that you're gonna learn on the punta, right? That. Okay? And it was Bulan Tawin Itasi, so you can actually do the also. I mean, Bulan Tawin Itasi, Bulan Ihatia. The ocean are very, very important. And motions are all over the right? Left. Yes, left. And then you shell. And one, two. Like you're gonna do this, okay? And then you
Happy Guma Anita ni Famalawan Itano. Si Zuas Maasi na Ega KUAM. Viva Mes CHamoru!
We'll keep it right here. Rooted returns in just a moment.
Rooted. Rooted.
Hafide Guahusinik Delgado. Welcome back as we wrap up our KUAM News Special, Rooted.
Mes CHamoru's next gen learning for our Chamorro language.
Brian BJ Terlahi, and my title, I'm a Chamorro dance teacher here, Chamorro language and dance teacher here at JFK. Okay. The purpose of the creation of the dance classes was to it was supposed to be the vehicle to kind of enhance the Chamorro language, which was started by Sina Frank Rabone back in the early 1990s. And then what the Department of Education saw and what the government saw was the retention of the Chamorro language in the community dance groups was stronger than actually the language classes. So what they did was they took these teachers in the community level and infiltrated into the school system. So not all schools have Chamorro dance classes, but the main purpose of the dance is to perpetuate and to make sure that the students are understanding and retaining the language through the art of dance. So let's do some basics. So Mr. Delgado can follow, okay? Usa ni itinas, fadzao zan haiguas, okay? Ifadzao ha zan itinas. Okay. So I'm gonna go to the drums where I am,
okay.
And then you're just gonna follow along. Naigwe si not Delgado itinas. Give him matunas.
Thank you.
Dance by expressing and learning the language, and also learning our stories of our ancestors. Our language and everything can make a great impact. I'm not Chamorro, I'm actually Japanese, Filipino, but I'm learning Chamorro through this class and through the community dance level.
How has it been essential or beneficial to you?
Culture dancing helped me a lot. I feel safe. I feel like the people there and the environment is good for me. I get to interact with other people and make new friends.
How did you feel when you first got into this type of learning and then to where you are today? How would you compare that?
I feel like I've improved. I was pretty scared at first, but with the help of Kubi or Senor Tulahi, he's been a great influence to me.
There's always going to be that handful of students that want to learn no matter what, but then you have the majority of students that don't really care because it's not the in thing. So that's the biggest challenge. Students, from my experiences, the 18 years that I've been teaching, I've never really had any student not interested in dancing or the art of singing or whatever based on their ethnicity. To be honest with you, a lot of my non-Chamorro students are much more interested than my Chamorro students. So I guess it's the closest thing that they can get to their specific culture here on this island.
I would say I'm pretty civilized. I know nothing, or I used to know nothing about my culture and my people. So this class has helped me learn how my culture is and the story behind it. And we've also been able to educate others who don't know anything about it either.
Thanks. Wow, amazing talent and all that celebrates Guam's culture. Viva Guam, Viva Mes CHamoru, this year and every single day for all who call Guam home. Guahusinik Delgado, take care, si Masi.